I'm looking forward to see what he brings. Maybe he'll be a challenge because Raul obviously wasn't a challenge, so I'm looking forward to it. But I think without disrespect, it takes a lot to beat me in face-offs.
Ty, brother, I have so much respect for you, but Tuesday, this is war. We're coming for you. We're coming for you for the Emirates, and you know it already. You can cut down the ticket allocation. We will still shut down your stadium.
It's all changed now. Shut down what? What is he, Skeptor? I'll keep knocking them down if they're arrogant, dismissive, patronising Hazard. Because you don't underestimate anybody, and I don't think anyone should be dismissed at all or disrespected. And when that happens, that's when I go in.
This, you see, Tuesday, by the Gunners.
We're ready to play now. I'm ready to go, so let's do it.
So who's the biggest club?
Who's the biggest club? Arsenal, PSG.
All right. Well, I have to back up my team, obviously, my club. So, do you know what? I think depending on how you judge who's the biggest club, is it the footprints at an international level, the history, the year it was created, the amount of trophies they won, significant players that played for that club, all won the Ballon d'Or with that club as well.
Yeah.
You are older than us, but we won 53 major trophies and you won 48 major trophies.
Yeah, that's right.
And if you judge by the trophies, but at the same time, I wouldn't say that it's because we won more trophies than you.
That makes you bigger.
That does not necessarily mean that we're a bigger club than you as well. So from an objective point of view, Arsenal is a more historic club than PSG.
That's very humble.
Because we were created in 1970. Obviously, we were 1970 with babies in this game.
Wow.
1970.
And we were 1886.
We did manage to pull out 53 trophies in the space of 50 plus years.
That's very good.
Exactly. And guys here, don't start me on the Farmers League. 53 trophies, but not the Farmers League.
Well, I wouldn't say it's the Farmers League because it's spawned a lot of players like Thierry and Zidane and all that. So, and Patrick Vieira, the invincible legends of
French, not necessarily French players, but players coming from the French league.
Absolutely.
Made the Premier League.
Yeah.
So it's easy to criticize, say, Farmers League, when most of the players that made the Premier League are coming from the French league.
Yeah, no, it's true. That's true.
So my point, I don't want to be too. I'm not. I have to back up my team, so I'm not going to be arrogant. I would say. I would say, considering the amount of trophies that we won. For 50 plus years, because we're very young, I'd say from that point of view, we are a bigger club than Arsenal. However,
I would disagree, but I'm going to disagree anyway. I'm going to disagree.
And we are in the run to be invincible in the French league as well, by the way.
Okay.
So hopefully, by the end of this season, Arsenal won't be the only club invincible as well.
But you say that, but it's the Premier League, isn't it? So the Premier League is very different. I'm not dissing the French league, but the Premier League is very different. So no, listen, I would never dismiss, but that's what I mean. And it's not even you. It's a lot of fans that say, "Oh, but this team did it." I'm not worried about any other league. We're in the Premier League. We're not in the Spanish league. We're not in the French league. So I only worry about what we did, and we don't seem to get the credit for that. I would always back my team, my club against anybody. I think it's amazing that you've.
Won 53 trophies in 50
after and
years,
won so many trophies. I think we've been very lucky. We should have won more, but to go unbeaten is just, it's like a dream now. You know what I mean? That's incredible.
But we're chasing that dream as well. We've been crowned champions. Was that 2 or 3 games ago?
Oh, congratulations!
In the league, and then obviously now the ultimate goal for the rest of the season is to remain invincible. So I know how you feel. It will be a massive achievement. But on the other end, I'd say it's neither Arsenal nor PSG the bigger club in the sense that we are both chasing for the Champions League.
Yeah, we are. But should we have won it? But should we have won it before? Because I think we should. You probably said I think we should have won it. I think we would be very unlucky to win it. We hope it's our year, but we're not going to think. We knocked out Real Madrid, which was incredible, but we're not going to think too far ahead. We can only think about one game and hopefully winning against you. But we know how dangerous the game is going to be. You know, like I said, we fortunately beat you in the group leg, but you've improved since then. We like to think we've improved.
Since October, it's a different PSG, brother.
Yeah, no, of course.
Completely different PSG.
Yeah, we know that.
Not even talking about the fact that Ousmane Dembélé was not playing it back in October, and I think it was a huge
why
miss.
Wasn't he?
He was sanctioned by the gaffer because he arrived late at the training session or whatever that is. Yeah. I think it had a huge impact on the game. Now Ousmane is back. Obviously, he's having the best season of his life. But not only him, that the entirety of the squad now are leveled up. They leveled up a lot. And in my opinion, the Arsenal that we're facing now is potentially a less threatening Arsenal that we faced back in October.
Is that what you think?
Yes.
Even after the way we dismissed Real Madrid.
I'm not scared of. Well, we're not going to talk about the state of Real Madrid. Because I'm not going to undermine your performance against Real Madrid. But the Real Madrid that you faced is a very poor Real Madrid.
Well, but was it though? Was it?
I think it was.
Or did we make them poor?
You made them poor. Objectively, you made them poor. But on the other end, when you look at the previous years, I think it's one of the worst Real Madrid I've seen in ages. So that's my opinion.
Oh, that's interesting.
But I'm not undermining your performance. That's what I'm saying. But when you look at the squad that you have now, your main quality is obviously the defense.
Yeah.
Gabriel, is he back now, Gabriel?
No, Gabriel, you mean Gabriel Magalhaes? He's out for the season, unfortunately.
There you go.
So Jakub Kiwior is in now.
What do you make of him?
He's done superb. Since he's come in, he's done superb. He's just carried on seamlessly.
Would you say he's better than Gabriel?
Of course not.
Less threatening for us, I'd say, than Gabriel.
You could say that, but then if you say that, that's fine. Then you underestimate him. Because he's moved into the back line seamlessly. Obviously, it's a massive miss to have Gabriel M2, but that's the way it is. You could say that, but
Saliba,
unbelievable.
Okay, overall, but for the past few games, it's been a little bit shaky, isn't it?
I wouldn't say no.
Look at what happened during the Palace game. What the mistake that he has committed? It's a big mistake.
Anybody can make mistakes.
No, not like this.
No.
We had Thiago Silva back in the days, or defender doing this. You pulling your hair out, and you're like, well, how? That's such a beginning. That's a Sunday league mistake.
That doesn't worry me.
That's horrible.
No, it's not horrible to me because the fact that it's very rare. Anyone can make a mistake. He's just showing he's human. I'm not worried. He shows you him and Gabriel M2, obviously Jakub now. What it is with them is that they've got such high standards that they make defending look easy when it isn't. That's what it is. That's what it is. So when you're looking at it, what he's doing, he's very, very effortless, nonchalant on the ball. It's not easy, but he makes it look easy. That's why. So when he makes a mistake, he shows you what he's doing. It's very difficult, but he's making it look easy. No. Listen,
that's what I remember from the first leg. The first time we faced you this season in October is that the defense was elite. Your defense was elite, and that's what I remember. I remember also Calafiori.
Oh, Ricardo, he's not playing.
That was on the side of Barcola, and I was surprised that I did manage to. I'm not going to say the word, but kind of pocket Barcola a little bit. I was expecting more from Barcola, but what we have now with Desiré Doué, wonder kid, Dembele is on fire, Barcola is way better. The Georgian player that we brought in, Kvaratskhelia, sorry for the accent, is smashing it from Napoli. Midfield-wise, Vitinha, João Neves. Mate, midfield, I'll go with my midfield.
Of course you're going to do.
Front three, I'll go with my front three.
Of course you're going to do that.
Defense, I have to admit, our defense is shaky. That's what I'm afraid of.
Oh, really? Well, I would never say. Well, listen, that's fine. But like I said, we're home, So we're very confident. Like I said, that's what I mean. We know exactly what we have to do. We like to think we've got the best defense. We know exactly what we have to do and who. And like I said, we're not going to underestimate you. We saw that game against Liverpool, Saw how you battered them. I didn't win the game, but yet beat them on penalties. So, we're ready.
You keep mentioning the Liverpool game rather than the latest one against Villa. So would you say, for you, it's more relevant to pay attention to the Liverpool game rather than the latest one against Villa?
Absolutely, because Villa, you lost. And Liverpool, you should have won. So to me, when I look at that, I look more that you were dangerous in that game than against Villa.
Fair enough. Okay,
You know.
fair enough.
So-
But I know, you mentioned the atmosphere, the home advantage as well.
Yeah, you always.
We need to address something. We need to discuss something because obviously
go on.
last time we turned up to the. Let's be honest, and Robbie said it. And when we did the post-match interview,
Robbie
and
said-
objectively, everyone, all the
Robbie
Arsenal
said-
fans,
Robbie said what?
we turned
What
up
did
to
Robbie
the
say?
Emirates and we
Yeah.
shut down the Emirates.
No,
It was only us.
nobody.
Ty,
Only Skepta.
I will
You're
always
your fans are
respect
not-
you on everything, and
I
your
do
knowledge
too.
is immense. But
So is
when
yours,
it comes to the atmosphere
Nobody
and the
can
fans
shut down,
in
no.
the stands,
No.
we shut down your stadium.
No.
Oh
I
my.
don't agree with that. I don't.
No, Ty.
Nobody could shut down Emirates. You fans were brilliant, yeah, but nobody could shut down Emirates. Nobody.
let's be honest.
That's like us going to PSG
You score-
and shut it down.
It's we call it the library, isn't it? A little bit.
No. Don't try this. Don't try to diss us. Stuart, don't try to diss us. Don't.
You score,
Don't
Arsenal,
try. No, don't try to
and
diss
then
us.
nothing.
No.
You can hear the players
No.
knocking the ball on the pitch.
So how many
Come
times
on.
do you go to Emirates then? How many times
What?
do you go to apart from PSG? How many times have you been to Emirates?
No, not many times.
Is that what? So
Not
you
many
can't tell
times.
then.
Not
That's
many
like me.
times.
That's like me.
But that's a
telling you
European
about
night.
thing.
That's a
No,
European night.
no. It's
Especially
only
when
what-
your
it's
team is
only-
winning, you should be even. You
It's
know what?
only what you
okay,
think. That's
let's
what
have
you
that
think.
conversation. I can, because you're talking about me not going to the Emirates very often.
Yeah, it's just
I
like me
can
going to PSG.
compare as a PSG fan on away games to English clubs. I can compare the last 5 English clubs that we played away and compare the atmospheres of the fans and the stadium.
Yeah, go on.
St James's Park is up top. It was amazing, but obviously they haven't played the Champions League for 21 years, so obviously it was a special occasion. St James's Park, Newcastle was it.
And Newcastle have done nothing, so they're not really anything special.
Okay,
I mean, in
that's
football
another
terms,
thing, but it just
no, it's
depends on
true.
atmosphere.
Because,
Yeah,
no, because
you're
that's what I
right.
mean.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And then you have, I've been Anfield away,
Anfield,
Villa
yes.
Park recently, and
Yeah,
we did the Emirates and we did the Etihad as well. So
Yeah.
the Emirates, brother, I'd go with same atmosphere as the Etihad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can say that, but you can
I'm
say,
sorry.
but you can say
I'm
that,
sorry.
but that's you, isn't it? That's you. You're saying
But
that.
objectively, when you are an away
You're saying
fan,
that,
you
but
see how the opposition fans are reacting or supporting
Yeah.
or backing up their team.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's like sometimes I feel like you should be more behind your team. That's,
I don't think you can tell us how to support. You can't tell us how to support.
Well, again,
So,
it's a different way to
but-
support. I'm
but
not
what I would-
judging, but
Yeah. But what I would say is that's what you say. That's fine.
but you think it's going to be a big advantage to play at home because it's going to be a special.
Of course it
home
will be,
advantage.
like it was
Have
against
your
Real
home-
Madrid. Of
For
course.
us, playing away against you guys,
Yeah.
it's not like playing away in. I don't know, in Germany or Italy
But
or
that's
whatever.
fine, but that's
It's
fine.
fine. It's going to be. It's
that's what-
just going to be the Emirates, isn't it?
Yeah, the Emirates.
Is
but
it
that's-
true that you're putting some noise in the speakers
We
in
don't
the
need.
stadium as well?
We don't need. Listen. Don't try to diss us because if that's the way you're saying, why did we beat you then? If you're saying that,
No. On football-wise, obviously you've been better
But that's
last
what I
time,
mean.
and
But
we
you're
never
trying-
won against you. So
Yeah, no,
in history. So
Okay,
agree.
but you're saying that. So you're saying that the fact that you're coming to Emirates won't
Yeah.
make any difference. Is that what you think?
No, not really.
That's what you're saying. That's what
really.
that's what you're saying to me. But
really.
I'm just saying that's what you say. But what I would say is that I would never ever underestimate what home fans can do because you're saying it from a away fan. I'm saying it from a home fan, and I know what our crowd can do. You know what I mean? So it's different. It's different looking at it. I would never go to PSG and say we're going to blow it up. I would never say that. I would never say they're quiet because you know more than me. That's what I mean. Whatever it seems like doesn't mean that's how it's perceived. It's just what you see. It's just what you see.
So you as a regular, you attending most of the Arsenal games, so you can compare the
all of them,
atmosphere of the away fans in your stadium, isn't
all
it?
of
If
them
some
are
are more
trying to-
noisy than others, if some are putting a better atmosphere than others, etc. You were at the Emirates during the in October, so you saw us in the stands,
Yeah, you were brilliant.
but you only heard us from minute 1 to minute 90, even if we were losing.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But we still won the game, isn't it?
I know.
You
I
know,
know.
that's what I'm saying.
But-
I'm just saying that what you say, what you say is not always reality, and that was a group game. This is going to be semi-final, so we don't have no choice.
True.
No pun intended, but to make noise. We don't have no choice, and that's what.
Have you heard about? Because you know I'm really into this. Supporters, culture, etc. Apparently, your fans, you have a section of your fans that created like an ultra group or whatever.
Yeah,
that
that's
is.
right. I spread
and
it on.
apparently, they had a GoFundMe or they raised some funds
Really?
to prepare a special T4. You can check it online. They did manage to raise more than £12,000.
Okay.
So all the Arsenal fans contributed to this. to release a special T4 for the occasion against PSG. We received PSG at the Emirates. We have to do something special. We need your money to actually finance the display, the banner, etc.
Nice. That's very nice.
What I'm trying to say is that it shows you that when you receive PSG, it's a special occasion. So you need also to show a little bit of extra motivation. I don't know why, but it's
extra motivation to win. Is that what you're trying to say?
Support your team in the stands.
We don't need
win. I don't know about that, but at least to support your team in the stands.
We just never listen. Once you're in the club, you don't need any extra. The motivation is there. The motivation is there to play and to hopefully beat any team. So no, we don't need no extra motivation. But that's nice. I never knew about that.
Even your gaffer in I think it was TNT Sport or something like. Yeah, he said something very special to the attention of the fans. He said for the PSG game, we'll need all our fans to be on their best behavior, but like you need to push a lot, like more than usual. The team, because we know, and Mikel Arteta played for PSG. He knows that we have incredible fans.
He's very respectful,
so he knows what he's talking about.
He knows, but then, like I said, against Real Madrid, it was an incredible atmosphere, and that's what we need to do. We need to face that again. I wouldn't say we need to do anything special more, but that's what we have to aim to do that for every single match and every team we play, irrespective of who they are.
Which club needs the Champions League?
Which club needs the Champions League more? I think Arsenal have been chasing the Champions League for longer than us because they are an older club. But when you look at the recent owners at PSG, the investment that they allocated to this project, and obviously the Champions League is the main trophy that they want to win. And I think it was a bit. I always compare this to Man City when you guys call it oil money arrived as well, when they were like, we're investing a lot. They did not really care about the Premier League. They wanted the Champions League, the Champions League, the Champions League. Same for us with the French League. The one that we're craving for is desperately the Champions League, 100%. So, yeah, potentially I'd say PSG from a finance perspective, with all the money that's been invested. From a fan perspective, because we're younger than you guys, I think we can show a little bit more patience. If it's not this year, we're heading towards that direction. So we know it's going to happen eventually. But you guys, I think it's been too long. I'm sorry,
I would say the same thing. You're a lot more humble than Raul. But mind games won't work on us. They don't work on me. They won't work on the team. What I would say is I can't believe PSG haven't won it already.
Why?
Because of the news.
Don't say the money type. Not you, please.
No, because of the players you had. You had
the players.
Messi.
Stop with money with FC and the Avengers. You saw it. Messi, Neymar, Mbappe.
Yeah. So I can't believe you didn't win it.
By yourself.
I thought you'd won it.
One of the worst seasons ever with those three, man. It did not work out. We said it. Like, you always people focus on the front three. We also got rid of Thiago Silva, our captain, in a very, very disrespectful manner, by the way.
Okay.
His farewell was not respected. I think he's a legend of the club, and what PSG did was awful. But that's another topic. Yeah. We replaced Thiago Silva, saying he was too old for the project, and we replaced him by Sergio Ramos. Same as Sergio Ramos joined at the same time as those guys. So you bring like old, big names, players, Sergio Ramos, Neymar, Messi, etc., and you put all the Avengers together, and you think that's a Marvel movie and it's gonna work well. But this is football. It's more complicated than that. I keep mentioning this for those that are playing FIFA on PlayStation and stuff like that. When you create your team, you can put the players with 90 or 99 with the legends all together, and you will not have the green link between them. It would be the red link, right? Sometimes you put a player that is a little bit less performant, and you will have your green line between them, and because the connection will be better. It's exactly like this. Messi at PSG was awful. People were saying it's bigger than your club. It's bigger than your club. It's not big. No player is bigger than the club.
No, that's true. That's true.
And second, it was horrible. It did not work out. So yes, on paper, you see all the Avengers together. You say, how did you not manage to win the Champions League? Even in the French league, they were awful. They did not play well together. That's it. Simple as. You see now we don't have big names anymore. No superstars. No Hollywood FC stars or whatever that is. We have youngsters that are joining PSG for the right reasons. That are playing with the heart for the badge. And talented. And now it's working way better. The football we play now, we have more potential to win the Champions League this season than ever before.
Okay, interesting. But then I would say, of course, we'd say we should have won it. I think we should have won it. But
yes.
We should have won. Yeah, we'd say that our need is more, but we're always going to say that. Because our need is always going to come first in our opinion. You know, so we'd say so, but you know, listen, it's difficult. It shows it's very difficult to make, you know. But like
it is, but you had many occasions to, again,
well,
when
we've
it
only
comes
been
to
to
the
one
project
final.
as well.
We've only been to one final.
True.
You know, so we should have won
one final as well and we lost it. So.
Do you see what I mean? So
it's a 50-50. Hey, we're chasing the same trophy,
you know,
same experience of the competition as well. Kind of, we'll have more experience, to be fair, of the competition for the past 3 years than you guys. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting game, mate, because we want to win against you. We never won against Arsenal in our history.
We want to win against you again. Hopefully. Another 2 more times, hopefully. You know. But no, listen, we're looking forward to it.
Is your star boy still injured?
Who? Sakaya? No, he's not. He's not injured.
Okay.
He's not injured.
He's going to play?
He should play, yeah. Why?
He's going to start or he's going to play?
He's going to play. He's going to start. Okay. He has to start. He's fit enough as well. And he came back against Real Madrid and managed to draw 2 free kicks that Declan incredibly put away against Courtois twice. So yeah, he's there.
But what you see, when I'm thinking about threatening players at Arsenal, I'm not thinking about Declan Rice.
Yeah, that's fine. But that's fine.
What he did against Madrid was out of this world. It was
I don't think Real Madrid fought
a genius move, but I think this is not something that you can pull out.
Why not?
Game,
why? No, not every game, but sometimes, isn't it? It can't be. It doesn't. Every game. No. But you know. But how do you know that?
Way.
But how do you know that? So you.
It happens once in your lifetime, like in the Champions League.
But how do you know? So you know what's going to happen.
2 free kicks like this. Is he well known for his free kicks?
He isn't. But anything can happen. But you'll say so. Are you then saying that you know what's going to happen in those 2 games? You don't.
I'm not saying.
Well, then so anything can happen.
I know the players that I'm the most scared of on the Arsenal side.
Okay.
And Declan Rice is not one of those.
Okay, that's fine.
That's what I'm saying.
But then what I would say to you that don't underestimate anyone, because we're not going to underestimate anybody in PSG. But if you're saying to me that you're not scared of him, then that means you are underestimating what he can do.
Okay, let me rephrase it. It's not that I'm not scared of him. It's that it's not the most threatening player in your squad.
Okay, well, that's what you say. That's fair enough, but that's what I mean.
Would you scare at PSG then, the most?
No one. We're not scared of anybody. Okay. We're not scared of anybody in PSG, but obviously, there are players we look at. We have to look at everybody. Obviously, the names like Dembele and Barcola and Kvaratskhelia, if I said his name right, you know, those would be the players to look at. But like I said, we have to look at the whole 11 and know that every player, apart from maybe Donnarumma, every player Vitinha as well, will be a threat. That's what I'm saying. So I wouldn't underestimate anyone.
Fair enough.
You know, that's what I'm saying.
I think that's the thing, you know, we should be due to facing offense. I think there's a lot of respect during that game in the sense that...
There is a lot of respect.
Well, you know football, I know football, and in the sense that we also
it's not nasty now. Remember, it was nastier before. It's not nasty now. Remember, it was nastier, sorry to interrupt, when I think we beat you in the Cup Winners. We beat you in the Cup Winners' Cup. It was nasty with David Ginola. That was horrible.
Oh, no.
That was horrible.
On the subject of respect, who do you think is the more respected club in Europe?
Well, that's not the biggest, the most respected club in Europe. By the fans, by the other clubs, by the general opinion of people not even knowing football as well.
Just generally, like other clubs.
That's hard to say. That would be hard to say. We like to think it's us, but you like to think
I'd say if we are looking at what happened recently in the Champions League and the fact that we're reaching again the semi-final of the Champions League and what Arsenal did in the Champions League.
I think we did reach a semi-final, but it's just one final.
So people would say PSG is more respected, in my opinion, in the Champions League, not as a club, but at least in the Champions League. But overall, with the Arsenal reputation and what Arsenal has achieved in football, I'd say people would say, potentially, Arsenal. That's my opinion.
I think that's fair. I think that's quite. I think that's quite fair. I think that's quite fair. I think you know, one final we have reached a few semi-finals, but one final. I think we've been unlucky. We should have won against Barcelona, but that happens. You know.
Same for us against Bayern Munich. We've been again unlucky. It's our previous former academy player Kingsley Coman that scored the winner as well.
Against you, wow.
We cursed. All the previous players that played for us, every time they face us, they are bullying us. So there's this little curse around PSG, and thank God, from what I can recall, there's no ex-PSG player that is at the minute playing for Arsenal.
Well, right, yeah.
So it should be okay. Mikel Arteta, I don't think is going to behave as a PSG agent. It might be.
Why would he? Why would he behave
I love
as that?
Arteta. I love Arteta. I think he's
fantastic.
As a player, as a gaffer, I don't know him, but I think he's been part of the history of PSG as well. So there's a special flavour for that game. You know, he knows it, and I think it's going to be an interesting one.
You say you've got the legend, haven't you, Enrique? Well, didn't he play for Real Madrid and Barcelona?
I know. I found it weird as well. You know, those players that did this. The Luis Enrique situation for me is a bit of a weird one because when he joined, I had mixed feelings. Because PSG suddenly, after getting bullied by Barcelona, you remember the famous comeback that they did against us?
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. That was incredible.
Again, it's not humanly possible. So there's been some stuff. Thank God the VAR was not involved at that time. But that's another topic. Luis Enrique was the gaffer at that time. So so Neymar joined from that squad. Neymar joined, Messi joined, Luis Enrique joined. The ones that made me cry for that comeback. So when they were all here at the club, I was not really happy to see him joining. To be fair,
really?
Because I was like, and we showed some kind of what's that called, the Stockholm syndrome, where you're getting bullied by someone and then you start appreciating that person for some reason or whatever. I think we shouldn't give them too much credit, but what Luis Enrique has done, especially this season, is amazing. To be fair, he's one of the best gaffer that we had for ages, and I think he's doing really well. That's definitely the gaffer that we needed from an authority perspective. Yeah, I think also he's in the dressing room, his legitimacy is appreciated and respected by all the players. When we had all those egos in the dressing room, as I said, Sergio Ramos, Messi, Neymar, Mbappe. Imagine managing all those egos in the dressing room. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
But if you can get them to play together, just imagine what they can do. If you can get them to play together.
Yeah, but sometimes you cannot get. For example, do you think Messi and Ronaldo could, the new Ronaldo, not the Brazilian one, can play together in a squad and perform the way they perform without each other? They wouldn't be necessarily a good fit together in the same squad.
I don't know.
Sometimes you can put the best player on paper together and it's not working out. So, and then that was the case with PSG. So I think I don't like this football kid that I can see behind me because it reminds me actually of the Hollywood FC period with Messi, Neymar and Mbappe up front. But I think now it's a different PSG you're going to face on Tuesday, and I appreciate the fact that you're going to show some respect because I think we're going to show some respect as well.
Of course, but why wouldn't we? But how is Mbappe then? How is Mbappe thought of at PSG then?
What do you mean?
Is he thought of as a legend?
He's the top scorer of the club. So on paper, are you talking about how the fans are feeling about him? Yeah, 50-50.
50-50.
The way he left the club, the way he behaved when he was at the club, the way, if you ask the PSG fans, they will say, some will consider him the legend of the club. Some would say that he's a great player, but I would not put him as a. You know what? We have more love for Cavani.
Really?
We have more love for Cavani. The way he behaved towards the fans, it's very emotional, the relationship between the player and the fans.
Of course, yeah.
So sometimes even some players that are not really performing super well, but they have procured you some emotions as well for specific games, specific moves on the pitch, specific goals, etc. And the way they behave towards you as a fan in the stands, you show them more love in a sense. Cavani was one of those. Thiago Silva was one of those recently as well. That's debatable. But for example, Javier Pastore was at the club for not too long. But we do love that player. It did not perform as Mbappe, but. Mbappe was a weird situation because we knew for ages that he wanted to leave the club.
But he didn't, did he? He actually stayed.
Imagine, this is to all the PSG fans out there, imagine Mbappe leaves the club to win the Champions League with Real Madrid and PSG wins the Champions League without Mbappe. Imagine being Mbappe. Not going to jinx it. I'm not looking at the trophy behind me because otherwise I'm going to jinx it. But if that happens, that will be also something special. And Mbappe is the top scorer, but very selfish guy. Very selfish.
Really?
Very selfish. Yeah. Very selfish.
Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. So that's okay. So if he comes back, so he's half then.
Half.
If he play. So, but when he played against Real Madrid, what happened then?
Well, if you guys when that game through, we had to face Real Madrid. I think he would have been not well received at the Parc des Princes by the fans.
But you said it's half though. So you mean nobody would cheer him at all?
Yeah, a little bit, but not the die-hard PSG fans would not be necessarily be happy to see him back at the Parc des Princes facing us. So
really,
you know, he's a kid from the area. You know, he's from the same club as William Saliba. You know, they played together, but William Saliba is a different story because we know deep down he's a Marseille fan, so we don't really like this. But
oh, is he really?
Yeah. But
that's
you have pictures of him wearing the Arsenal kit when he was a kid, but also he said on many occasions when he was.
That's incredible. That's incredible for us.
That's fine, but it's the fact that he's from the Paris region and has this love for Marseille. I think we don't really like him, but that's another topic. What we're talking about is that Mbappe coming from the same club as Saliba.
Yeah.
He's from the same region. We would have loved, for example, for Saliba. To show or develop some love for PSG because it's from the region and would love to play for the badge, for the club, etc. There's loads of players from the region that for some reason were rejected by PSG as well. So I cannot understand it as well.
But did they reject William though?
Not as I think he gave it a try, but I have to double check that. But I'm not even sure. But I think Marseille offered him a great opportunity, so he went there. But mate, there's a lot of talent that we have in the Paris region that do not make it to the PSG squad. And Mbappe was one of the best talent in French football. He should have stayed with us and embraced the fact that he's from the Paris region. PSG should be his in DNA. He should love the badge, love the club, love the fans. But since he's a kid, his dream is to play for Real Madrid.
Well, so how long for?
You might as well just go straight away.
But how long to stay with PSG? What, for the rest of his career then?
Why not?
Oh, really?
And win the Champions League with us. At least win the Champions League with us, and then you go.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
Because now he's left for Real Madrid, and look, Real Madrid is worse with Mbappe. And a lot of players in the dressing room were not really happy about him joining Real Madrid. But let's talk about PSG. I think we're performing better without Mbappe. That's the topic.
Right, okay.
Okay, so this season you can tell with him not being in the squad, we look more like a proper football club and football team than with it. It was Mbappe, pass the ball to Mbappe scores, Mbappe has the pace, Mbappe has the skills. But now all the players are working together and it looks way better as well. So. That's my opinion. We're better without Mbappe.
Who's more likely to bottle the semi-final, Arsenal or PSG?
Wow.
What kind of question is that?
I think bottling is the nickname for Arsenal, isn't it?
No, it's not a name for you. Don't even try it. Don't even try.
The first time when I arrived in this country, no, brother.
Don't even
I'm being honest with you.
You're being something.
I'm not winding you up, mate. I'm not winding you up.
You have to be if you're saying that.
Let me tell you. The first time I arrived in London and I heard about this bottling thing.
From who?
It was either Tottenham or Arsenal.
It's Tottenham, not us. It's not us. Because this
is how I learned the expression of bottling something in football. It was either associated to Arsenal or Tottenham. So that's a real thing, objectively. So I'm not winding you up.
Crystal Palace, Brentford, Fulham, all those teams that have won nothing. Newcastle, they haven't won nothing. They didn't win nothing for over 70 years. So you know what I mean. So you know what I mean.
Newcastle won the
before then. They won the Carabao Cup this season.
Carabao Cup,
But before this season, they've won nothing for 70 years. So those are bottlers. You don't bottle trophies if you've got an invincible team. You're the first team to win the League Cup and FA Cup in the same season. To win the league win the league at Anfield and win the league at Old Trafford as well.
Okay.
You know. So you don't.
I see bottling job as you are so close to win something and you're ruining it. That's why I'm saying this.
It's not a bottle job then. So it means that you're unlucky. You don't get online. Doesn't mean you bottled it. Because if you bottled it, you wouldn't get it in the first place.
But it happened to Arsenal a lot of times recently, isn't it? Like getting so close to do it and then ruining it.
It depends what you're saying. We've won
the league or the cup.
We've won the most FA Cups. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
If you look at Manchester City, we've won 5 major trophies more than them. Look at what they won. So I wouldn't say that. I would, because once you say that, then you have to factor then the fact that you have some stupid decisions as well. If you don't have no injuries, you don't have no bad decisions, I can accept that. But when you have stupid decisions like we've had this season and last season and the season before, you know, and other teams don't, then no, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that at all. I would never say that. I don't know about PSG. I could never call you.
Well, apart from the final that we lost against Bayern Munich, and obviously wouldn't call it bottling it because I still believe in this curse of ex-players of PSG and bullying us and that's what happened with Kingsley Coman. But apart from that, I don't see any game or trophy that we were about to win, that we were so close to win, and for some reason we had all the ingredients and we ruined it for some reason. We haven't done that, and not winning the Champions League with the Avengers and Hollywood FC, Messi, Neymar, Mbappe. I don't think is bottling the Champions League either, because it did not really work out in the French league as well domestically.
Well, you won the French league, didn't you?
Yeah, but the way we played, it was. I mean, you could tell like it was not really working. So, from a finance perspective, say, you have invested a lot in those players, Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe, and you're still not winning the Champions League. You have bottled it. I don't think so. Because we were not even close to win the Champions League last season when we lost and we were disqualified. So I would say sorry, but objectively I would say Arsenal is bottling
no way, you can't.
No,
you can't because
that's the question, Ty.
That's the question. But like I said, if you look at the facts don't back up. How did we get an invisible team if we're bottlers? How did we win the most FA Cups? How did we win the double 20 years before Manchester United? How have we won the league at Anfield? How have we won the league at White Hart Lane twice?
I probably say bottling it is like linked to false hope. Like you have a hope to, you're getting so close to win it, and then you fucked it up.
It's not bottling.
You know what I mean? This is bottling.
No, but it's not because the thing is, well, like I said, if you say bottling, that means it's all in your hands. Like I said, that means then.
But football is never in your hands, Ty. Never.
But you can't
say everything.
You can't call it bottling then, because bottling to me would be you have everything in your favour. That means you don't have no bad decisions. You don't have any injuries. That's what I mean. But we have had injuries. We've had bad decisions. That is why as well. So then, as much as people can criticise us, we take the blame for what we haven't done. When you've got somebody like a Lee Mason who forgets to draw the lines, that's your job. Then I wonder what's going on. When you've got 3 red cards in the first 10 games of this season, I wonder what's going on when no one has it. And you look at Manchester City and they haven't had bad decisions like that. That's what I mean. So I don't say it's bottling.
Are you saying that this is rigged or something?
I'm not saying this. No, I would never say it's rigged, but I would say there has to be questions for us onto why we are getting these decisions.
I would question the comeback of Barcelona against us as well, to be fair, so I can end the decisions that were made during that game.
But that's what I'm saying.
So
you see what I mean?
I can understand.
That's what I mean. I would have to say that because I'm saying without those, we would win it. You could even say this season, Liverpool are a point away from winning the league. They've had decisions. We have had much bad decisions, worse than them. You know, they haven't had bad decisions. That's why they've done well, but that's why they're as well, because you need decisions as well.
Okay. But now I have a real question for you, Ty, because last time I was here in March debating with Turkish and Cecile and Robbie.
Okay.
We had that debate. I would be interested in having your opinion in why all the English fans in general, but you will tell me if you're thinking differently, are thinking are more willing to win the Premier League than the Champions League. So for you as an Arsenal fan, that's a good question because you haven't won the Premier League in a long time, and no disrespect, and also you haven't won the Champions League.
Yeah.
So now you have those 2 trophies that you're craving for, that you really need to win. Which one will you go for first?
Well, we're going to have to go for the Champions League, innit? Because that's our probably best option. But, yeah, you'd always go for the Premier League because the Premier League is over 38 games, isn't it? You know, and it's all the way for the league.
So for you, it's more prestigious than the Champions League, than this one?
I don't know if it's more prestigious. It's your football bread and butter, isn't it? It's what you start with and what you end with. And it's not a competition, because with a cup competition, you need a lot of luck. But in the Premier League, even though things have been a bit funny,
this new format of the Champions League it looks a little bit more like a little league,
it's different. It's different, and it's obviously helped you, and it's helped us as well. You know, but that's what I mean. I think
this season you go for, or this season in general, you go for Premier League over Champions League.
Well, no, we have to go for the Champions League, isn't it? Because of the situation. But if you ask us to start the season, because we never knew we'd be in this position. We would never have thought. So
don't you think that the fact that you're considering the Premier League, even, I know that's a league trophy, so that's different than a cup trophy. I get that.
Yeah.
But the fact that you considering the Premier League a more prestigious trophy to win than the Champions League is disrespectful to European football. And you can talk to all the European football fans out there. They will all tell you that obviously winning the league domestically is very important.
Yeah.
But the trophy that we're all chasing and that we find the most prestigious is this one here.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's disrespectful because the thing is, if you look at us now, we should have won the league last season. We ended up second and yet we're in the semi-final. So how does that work then?
So it's the frustration that you have around not winning it rather than...
No, what it is that if you want champions, then you're going to have only first and second.
Okay.
You can't have third, you can't have fourth. Because those are teams who have not been anywhere near their domestic league but still competing. So to me, if you want it to have more respect, you need to have the champions and the runners up only. Not third or fourth. That's what I think.
Okay.
You know, because that's why. Because with the league, it doesn't lie in the fact that you can't be second and win the league. You have to be first.
Love your Premier League, isn't it? Like you English people, like you love the Premier League so much. Like I don't know why you. Yeah,
because it's a hard trophy to win.
Because we're talking about European football as well. You know what? That's actually a good question because if you take the 4 teams that are left in the Champions League, okay, that's a good one. I wanted to ask you actually this one.
Yeah. I'm
turning into the guy that's interviewing you, but
what, Robbie?
The 4 teams that are left, we have 1 team from each country.
That's right.
English club, Arsenal, PSG, France, French League. We have Inter Milan and Barcelona from Spain.
Yeah.
If those 3 European clubs were playing in the Premier League, would you say they will make it Big 6 or top 5 or top 3? Inter Milan, Barcelona, and PSG. Do you think PSG will be top 5?
I thought it's very difficult to say because the Premier League is very difficult. That's what I mean. And that's what I think.
And Inter Milan and Barcelona will be top 5 of the Premier League.
I don't know.
That's my opinion.
Okay, that's what you say, but then you don't know the Premier League. You don't watch it every week.
I watch the Premier League.
No, but you don't.
But I don't support Premier League clubs.
Exactly.
So I don't watch Premier League week in, week out.
The Premier League is very, very difficult. It's very. I don't know. I think they would find it difficult because the Spanish league and the French league and
the Italian
league are very, very different to Premier League. So the way Barcelona would play it'd be very difficult if they might have to modify their style. Do you see what I mean? Because the Premier League is very
more physical.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very the Premier League is very, very difficult. I don't know. That's what I mean. And that's what I mean. That's why there's such an emphasis on winning because you have to. Because that's why when we went unbeaten, it's incredible. Because the Invincibles, they never let it slip for 38 games, and that's unbelievable. In the Premier League, you've got a tough game every game. So to not lose, to not slip once. It's unbelievable. Obviously, we had very, very lucky
seasons. That's good that you're talking about the Invincibles because we're coming for you on this as well. Because the way it looks is like by the end of the season, you won't be the only Invincible, the only one being the Invincibles.
Yeah, but that's what if you don't do it though?
If we that would be bottling it.
Why would it be bottling?
Because it would have been so close to
how many games have you got? How many games have you got left?
We have 4 games left.
Is that all?
4 games left.
So you're very close then.
4 or 5 games left, something like this. Yeah.
How many home? How many away?
I think it's 3 home and 2 away. I'll have to check that.
My gosh. Yeah. So you're nearly there then, isn't it?
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Let's wrap it up with a score prediction.
Cool.
Yes.
Across both legs for both of you.
Across both legs. Okay.
Well, I'll start first, isn't it? Because we're holding it. So I'll predict the first leg.
Okay.
First for us, we're home. Yeah. So listen, we were lucky enough to beat you 2-0. So I'd have to go for hopefully 2-0 again in the first leg.
I'm going to try to be realistic here. I think it might be one of the toughest games that we have in the Champions League this season.
Us too.
To be fair. We lost because of a lot of, you mentioned external factors that were impacting the game. I think Dembele not playing was one of those.
Yeah.
The PSG that we are and you are receiving at the Emirates on Tuesday is not the same as the one in October, so I'd go with a short win or a draw.
Okay.
And obviously, I'm going to start with
the second leg.
The second leg in Paris.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good advantage, an amazing advantage that we have, that we can play the second leg at home. Because if we need to pull out a comeback, it will be way easier to do at home. So, and the atmosphere will be, my God, that will be, mate. If you are attending, and I hope you will attend,
hopefully.
Second leg will be, it will be amazing. So, I believe that at the Emirates we'll have a short win, a 1-0 or 2-1, or a draw. I'll be happy with a draw.
I bet you will.
I'll be happy with a draw because I know that the second leg at home, we'll get the job done.
So that's what you think.
Yep.
Well, I'm sure that's what Real Madrid thought, isn't it? So,
mate, I have to back up my club. You know,
Well,
I know what we're capable of as well.
I know what we're capable of as well.
Exactly. So I'm
That's
being
what I mean.
objective as well. So I think it's going to be an amazing fight. I think it's going to be, and I hope it's not going to be a boring game to watch as well.
Well, it might
not
be.
Too
It can be. It can be.
tactic, not too defending, not too.
It can be, but it can
we
be.
want
doesn't
some
it?
attacking football, and I'm scared that, especially during this first game at the Emirates, because that's the first leg. Arteta is good also for this. I'm not going to say he's going to park the bus because he has no interest in parking the bus.
He would never park the bus, but he's very good. He's very
Still,
good
I have
tactician.
the impression that it might turn into a bit of a boring game because the teams will observe themselves. They will try some stuff. They don't want to commit two dumb mistakes.
Absolutely.
It might be a bit of a boring one. So the second leg will be more interesting.
Well, will it? No, but that's fair enough, and that's fine. That's fine. But I'm just looking at what happened at Real Madrid because we crushed Real Madrid in the first leg, and everybody still was.
Were you shocked?
Not
Let's
shocked.
be objective. That were you surprised that you did manage to pull out such a good performance against Real Madrid?
Not shocked. More surprised because I was confident that I didn't think we'd win that heavily, but I was surprised at how I would say easily, but not how well we played. I was surprised at how we did, because even that surprised me. Not shocked because nothing shocks me because we could do anything. This club can do anything when we're all moving together. Has a football club, has players, has coaches, has backroom staff, has catering staff, has box office staff, and all. And when we're moving as one, we can do anything. But I was surprised, because it was incredible. It was incredible, and it just shows you what we can do.
Because you were not the favourites for that confrontation.
No, we weren't.
Do you think you are the favourites against PSG?
Well, apparently you're the favourites to win it. I don't know if we're favourites to win the title. You're favourites to win it, which is fine for us. You know what I mean? That's fine. If that's what people think, that's fine.
I wouldn't say we're the favourites, to be fair, objectively. I wouldn't say. I would say you guys are the favourites for that game. I would say it's a bit of a 50-50, 49, 60, 51, whatever that is. And I'm fine with it. I don't want to be the favourite anyway. We're playing better when we are the underdog. So.
Well, I wouldn't call you underdog.
Not underdog, but outsider, like not the favourite.
I wouldn't call you underdog. You can't be with the team you've got. How can you be outsiders or underdogs?
Of course. But you should be scared.
Why should we? Why should we?
We're coming for you.
You're coming for who? You're coming for who? You're signing. Listen,
Stuart, we're coming for you in the stands and on the pitch. Trust me, it's going to be a different PSG, and you're going to be impressed.
It's Stuart, isn't it? Oh, got your number. Listen, please don't try to think. Listen, please don't spoil it. You've been very humble. Don't try to act like Raul, please, because that's what Raul said. Raul said, "Oh, you should be scared." I said, "You should be scared." You know what I mean? Coming for you.
True.
You know what I mean? So, listen, that's not going to work on us. That's not going to work on me. So, if you're coming for us, then we're ready for you. We're coming for you as well. But at the same time, we won't underestimate you. Listen, we're looking forward to it.
Everyone is ready for everyone.
Absolutely.
We're ready for you, you're ready for us.
Absolutely, because what I said to Raul is that when you get to this stage, you're not frying, otherwise then there's no point in that. You know what I mean?
Where is Raul? Is Raul here?
No, he's not here. No.
Raul, where are you? What are we talking about him? Where is he?
No, because that's what I'm saying. But you haven't been as bad as him.
I know.
Unbearable. But I said that to him. He said, "You have to be careful. You're going to the Bernabeu." I said that doesn't work on me, and that won't work on us.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
But the motivation that we have,
it's not bigger than ours, is it? Oh, you say it is. Because no motivation, and no one outside any club.
I know you're craving for this one as well, the same as we craving for it. So.
Well, we are both craving for it, isn't it? We are both
all the
craving for it.
English clubs are taking the piss out of you as well because you never won the Champions League.
But they can't. Who could take the mick out? What
United, Liverpool,
United, we won the league on their ground.
I know, but they always say to you guys that you never won the Champions League.
No.
Like, I mean, our rivals Marseille, they keep saying the same to us. Like, you won so many titles. Yeah, exactly.
So listen, that's
okay. I like that.
Thank you. That's external, outside noise. Manchester United can't tell us nothing. Manchester, like I said, we've won 5 major trophies more than Man City. With all they've won. We've gone unbeaten. We've gone unbeaten. Manchester United, we won the league on their ground. We've gone unbeaten. So you know what I mean. Chelsea, we've got invincibles. You know what I mean. So we might not have European. We won 2 European trophies, by the way. We won the Fairs Cup and we won the Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah.
But even though we haven't won the Champions League, we've got something that they can't.
You know, that's a very good point because some people, when we say we won a European Cup in '96.
Yeah.
People were saying no, that's not the Champions League. Obviously, that was not the Champions League.
So it's still a European trophy.
The Cup Winners' Cup is a European trophy.
But that's what I'm saying.
Agreed.
That's what people do.
Agreed.
They try to.
Agreed.
rewrite history and eliminate the facts. But the facts are the facts. That's still and like you said, that was a prestigious, if I could say it right, prestigious trophy at the time.
Sure.
So you know what I mean?
Agreed.
Right, let's wrap it up with a handshake, guys.
Good luck, brother.
Thank you.
Good luck,
Same
good
to
luck,
you.
man.
Same
Good
to you.
luck,
Thank
good
you.
luck,
And
man.
you.